Will Bosi just sent or repeated his fourth V17. He is unquestionably, the hardest climbing boulderer in the world right now. And one route that he hasn't managed to repeat, Adam, is a little line called Terranova. And I'm curious if you think that you might have perhaps put up the first V17 in the world and not known it.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. I'm expecting that will come back soon, and he will climb it, and he will confirm my suggestion that it's 8C plus.
From trying it, it seems wild that that's the grade. And I remember when I first spoke to Adam about it, when I was like, "Oh, I've tried it, but like, dude, it's really, really hard. I think it's like it potentially could be harder." And I'm pretty sure he was like, he borderline was like kind of joking and laughing. He was like, "No, no, no, like, don't worry, it's not that bad. You'll just learn the movements and it's okay." But yeah, I think I've had 8 sessions on it. It feels very far away still.
But he's put some sessions on it. Like he's put a
He's
couple of
put
trips on it.
sessions never really in the best possible conditions.
Hmm.
And I think what is quite unique to Terranova is that it's very specific style, which is like very specific style to our home crag. And our home crag called Moravsky Kras, or like there are more crags like Holstein and Slope. So Terranova is located in Holstein, but there are some other hard boulders also in neighboring crag called Slope. Uh, Most of the other hard boulders in this crag are maybe not necessarily so specific because they are steeper and they're very like finger oriented. There might be some hard body positions, but I think they mostly require a style of climbing that Will is pretty familiar with,
That's
based
that's
on
his
having
strength.
climbed a lot on like shitty frictionless limestone climbing crags like Raventor back in
Totally.
UK. Whereas I think Terranova is a little less steep and is really more about like just really pure precision on very weird frictionless limestone. And I think that's really where it really comes down that you really need to take your time and just work a lot on the specific moves that at the beginning just feel really weird. So I
Hmm.
think when that happens and he gets it dialed and gets more accustomed to the style, he will say finally that it is an C plus.
It kind of breaks down where there's like you have the low sit there, like the sit start position, and then a couple moves out, there's another sit you can do, and it skips 6 moves
Hmm.
basically. And I managed to do it on the 8th session from that sit position, so I've skipped the first 6 moves, and it was absolutely limit. Like I had nothing left. It was an absolute fight. I did it on a live stream actually, and there were comments on live stream like, "Whoa, wait, did you just send the boulder?" And then I had to like sheepishly be like, No, like that that was it from like starting away from the beginning." And yeah, that's 8 sessions of work, and I mean that link by itself felt like a 16, you know. So the thought of
Wow.
then adding the start in, which I did manage to, like, I can link the start to there to that point, but like the only times I've actually managed to make it work, I think I managed it twice, and both times I was there like absolutely gassed out, nothing left, and then thinking like I've got to now do the crux of the boulder, the rest of it coming up. So I'm hoping with more sessions it would come together a bit more, and because it is like a longer climb, it's one of those things that potentially it does just come together a bit more, like Adam says. But to me, it feels really, really hard.
But what do you think it's going to take? Like, what was for you? What unlocked Terra Nova? All right, y'all, just a quick minute here to talk about every climber's favorite topic, finger strength, and how we can build it. And I'm telling you guys, this has changed the game for me. Check out the Force Board. I've been using it for a while now, and I am already seeing the difference in my finger endurance and finger strength. And that's because it's allowing me to precisely dial in what I need in any given workout. I mean, it's tiny, so I can throw it in my bag and take it to the crag for my warm up or to the gym or when I'm traveling. It logs everything in the app automatically. I can even see how I stack up against the community with regard to my finger strength. It's gamifying the way I'm training. Dr. Tyler Nelson's been on the show to talk about how effective this kind of training is, and I am loving it. If you're a geek about training your fingers like I am, you got to check out the Force Board. It's cheaper than a pair of climbing shoes, and it's going to level up how you train your fingers. Also, if you hit that link down there and use code STRUGGLE10 at checkout, you're going to score yourself $10 off just like that. Plus, the show gets a little bit of love, so it's a win-win. All right, hit that link and let's get some strong fingers.
So it breaks down in like 9 moves, which by itself I think are like hard 8C, into maybe 5 moves of 8A plus. Which is a section which is more kind of like power endurance, and I think I only dropped it once. On that section, I famously did it with this weird crossover move, but Will had found his own beta, and Jana, this Czech girl who is actually very close to sending it, which is really cool, found her own beta for this finish. But I think the main problem is like the first 9 moves. While the first 4 moves are more sort of like just the intro, and then the next 5 moves are the crux, involving like a very sketchy heel hook and very slippery kind of pinch. So I think the problem is like to really get dialed every single move and climb with the flow, because if you kind of like climb slow and just lose some power and mostly the friction while climbing relatively slow, then you get 5 moves higher and all of a sudden you just don't have the friction and you fall off. It is very small holds for sure, but it's nowhere close to being a board climb, like Burden of Dreams or Sports of Time. Not to say that I think both Burden of Dreams and Sports of Time are incredible technical, just like in a different way. And it's a technique that Will is incredibly good at. But Terranova requires a different technique, which I think in his career maybe hasn't really trained so much, and he just needs a little more time to kind of get used to it. That's my opinion.
Well, okay, so
It's
you're not
more of a technique that I think spent quite a bit more time in my career just climbing on these weird things like this, because we actually, apart from Terranova, especially in like easier grades, we have quite a lot of weird climbing, both on boulder and both on sport climbs, like Terranova.
One of the things though on this is like Adam's beta for some of it is absolutely mind blowing. Like he does this crazy cross under and ends up like basically matching where his toe is, like this weird wrap, and then like drops in. I can't remember if he said, this is what I'm trying to remember, if he said it was 8A plus boulder or if it was like 7C plus, he said these 2 moves or something. He didn't, I remember it wasn't like crazy hard, and he was like, oh, it's just movement, you learn it. I haven't been, like, I put a few sessions into this beta and just haven't been able to touch it. Like, can't even get my hand vaguely close to like the foot or anything. It's like mind-blowingly hard, and I found this other way of doing it. But I suppose it's kind of like a mix of betas. It's the girl that's been working at Jane. She uses this different way but similar style, but we just use like a different right hand that you come into, and the one that she's using is just like an appalling crimp that I just can't get anything from it. So I use this like really bad pinch, and yeah, that 2 move section took me like 3-4 days to do or something, and that's just the end of the climb. And I don't know, the whole thing, it seemed really hard. And because the first trip I had to the Czech, I did 6 8C boulders in that area. No, 5, sorry, one was not limestone. 5 of the limestone 8Cs I did on all, I think the longest was 5 sessions, but most were 2 to 3. And they're all the holds were there, the moves were there, they felt okay. And then Terranova, there's an 8B plus that starts about halfway along Terranova. You can sit and go straight up as an 8B plus. That took me longer, I think, than or the same amount of time as most of the 8Cs. And then starting there and doing the end of Terranova, which is called Nova, was given 8B plus. I upgraded that to 8C because that took me multiple sessions and felt harder than all the other 8Cs I had done. It was crazy.
Will, do you think Adam Ondra sent The world's first V17 years before Burden of Dreams?
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I haven't sent it and I haven't got the beta light obviously dialed, so I can't really comment properly on the grade. But I wouldn't be surprised. Is the way I would say it.
He very well might have climbed the world's first 10A with silence as well, man. We'll see how your session feels out there on that. Adam Ondra might just be, he might have just been a little ahead of his time, dude.
Oh, I mean, yeah, always he's absolute beast. Super cool.
Oh man, I love that. How good is Adam Ondra, you guys? He is the greatest of all time. I love him so much. And if you love Adam Ondra and you love rock climbing, and I think you do, because why else would you be watching this right now? Well, guess what? I've got more than 3 hours of conversations with Adam Ondra, full uncut videos, as well as bonus episodes only available to patrons of the show. So if you want to support me for a few bucks a month and you want to gain access to 3 hours of Adam Ondra content, plus incredible exclusive content with Chris Sharma, Alex Honnold, Nino Williams, Dave McLeod, Magnus Mitbo, and so many other crushers. There's over 100 hours of content that you can access for free on a 7-day trial or for a few bucks a month to support me. I really appreciate it. You can hit that link right there or wherever it's at. You can check out this shirt that I made called the Send Train shirt. I give discounts on this kind of stuff to patrons as well. Really appreciate you checking things out and supporting me. If you can, have an awesome day.